Have you ever noticed something about the bad guys? I mean, the really bad ones. The ones who make you think, okay, the hero is definitely in trouble now. There's a secret rule in storytelling, an unspoken agreement. If a villain wants to be taken seriously, they need to be big. Not just big in their plans like taking over the world. No, physically big. Muscles on top of muscles. They look like they eat dumbbells for breakfast and wash it down with a protein shake of pure intimidation. Freakishly jacked. And it's not just for show. Think about it. When a hero walks into a room, you know they're the good guy. They might be strong, sure, but they usually look like a person you could meet on the street. Then the villain shows up. Shoulders so wide they turn sideways to fit through the door. Arms that could punch a hole through a mountain. Suddenly, the hero doesn't just have a moral problem. They have a physical problem. A very, very big physical problem. This isn't a coincidence. This is storytelling at its most basic. Showing the stakes without saying a word. The size of the villain tells you the size of the threat. This physical power does something important. It makes the hero's struggle real. It's one thing to fight a bad idea. It's another to fight a 9-foot-tall purple alien who can snap his fingers and end half the universe. See the difference? That's Thanos, by the way. We'll get to him. A villain's sheer physical presence raises the stakes for everyone. It forces the hero to get smarter, stronger, or find new allies. It makes victory, if it comes, feel earned. Not just a battle of wits, a bone-crushing fight for survival. And we are here for it. So why do we care about these muscle-bound monsters? Because their strength isn't just muscle. It's a symbol. It represents an obstacle that seems impossible to overcome. Their power is a visual of the hero's biggest fear, deepest challenge. Freakishly jacked villains. Story turns serious. A promise of a spectacular fight, for the fate of the world and for the very soul of our hero. Their muscles aren't just muscles, they are the story's engine. Now, you can't just throw a bunch of huge villains in a list and call it a day. That would be chaos. You need a system, a method to the madness. So, how are we going to rank these titans of terror? It's not just about who would win in a fight. We're going for something deeper. We're ranking these villains on two key things. First, raw, undeniable physical power. Can they punch a planet in half? Respect the gains, but physical strength alone is boring. A big guy who just stands there isn't very scary. Second, narrative impact. How much does their strength matter to the story? Does it change the hero? Does it force them to grow? Does it leave a lasting mark on their world long after the fight is over? A villain who breaks the hero's body is one thing. A villain who breaks the hero's spirit with their sheer, overwhelming force? That's a legend. That's a top-tier villain. We're looking for that perfect, terrifying combination. So, our ranking system is a mix. It's 50% pure, unadulterated power and 50% story-breaking significance. A character might be strong enough to juggle moons, but if their story is weak, they won't rank very high. On the other hand, a villain whose strength creates a legendary moment in pop culture, a moment that defines a hero for generations, they're going straight to the top of the list, even if they can't technically juggle moons. This method allows us to celebrate the spectacle of their power and the substance of their role in the narrative. It's brains and brawn, but for the bad guys. In this breakdown, we're going to count down the top 10. Comic book legends, movie menaces. We'll explore who they are, where their power comes from, and why they matter so much. We'll look at their biggest feats of strength and the biggest emotional punches they landed on our heroes. You'll get the full picture, the complete breakdown of what makes these villains not just strong, but truly unforgettable. So get ready. We're about to dive deep into the world of characters who are too big, too strong, and too important to ignore. This is the definitive ranking of freakishly jacked villains. Bane shows up wearing a mask and a plan. He is not just a gym rat. He's a thinker who lifts. Batman Nightfall. The Dark Knight rises. He blends smarts with real-world ending muscle. He beats Batman not just by punching harder, but by breaking him, literally. That combo is dangerous. A villain who can outthink and outmuscle your hero raises stakes on two fronts. Origin is simple and gritty. Born in a prison, raised in chains, Bane learned to survive by becoming stronger. Comics give him the venom drug. Films make him a warrior leader. His backstory tells us why he fights and why he hurts. It's not random cruelty. It's prepared violence with purpose. That makes his strength mean more. It's earned, not just pumped. Key feat: breaking Batman's back in the comics. In the movie, he almost breaks Gotham itself. Both versions show a villain who changes the hero forever. Batman becomes more human, more fragile, then smarter. Bane's physical power forces Batman to rethink everything. You don't just beat Bane, you rebuild after him. That aftermath is the story's real damage. Bane's strength reshapes the hero's life. Kingpin doesn't look like a typical brawler at first. He looks like someone's uncle at a fancy dinner. Then he stands up. And that's the moment. He is huge, dense, terrifying. In comics and the Netflix world, Kingpin lifts buildings with his will. He crushes people with a handshake. His presence says, the city itself is his muscle. He matters because he weaponizes society, not just his fists. Origin is crime and control. Wilson Fisk rises through pain and strategy. He builds power with money, fear, muscle. Films and comics show him as the brain behind brutal acts. He uses soldiers, laws, but he can also fight hand to hand and win. That makes him versatile. He controls boardrooms and back alleys. That duality is why he scores so high. Key feat: defeating heroes in close quarters. In Daredevil comics and the series, he often walks into a fight and wins. He also ruins lives from an office. His strength is not only physical, it is structural. He bends institutions to his will. That makes the hero's challenge different. The hero must fight fists and systems. Kingpin's power forces moral fights, as well as physical ones. Quick comparison: unlike Bane, who breaks a hero physically and mentally through chaos, Kingpin crushes through order and corruption. Bane is a wrecking ball. Kingpin is a slow, steady weight that flattens everything. Takeaway: Kingpin proves the real heavy hitter can be a man who turns society itself into his dumbbell. Section 4. Rank 3. Darkseid, the god of evil and his stone-faced brutality. Now we enter the realm of cosmic gods. Darkseid is not just a villain. He is evil itself. He rules Apocalypse, a fiery industrial hellscape. His goal is simple and terrifying: eliminate all free will in the universe, reshape reality using the anti-life equation. He is not just freakishly jacked, he is a god. His strength is absolute. His will is unbreakable. His cruelty is boundless. When Darkseid shows up, the stakes are existential. He is the final boss for the entire DC universe. His origin is mythic. Born a prince, murdered his brother to seize power, and gained the Omega Force, cosmic godlike energy. He is an immortal who has conquered worlds for eons. His body is an avatar of a true cosmic self. He is the opposite of freedom and life. His jacked physique signals the power of tyranny. He fires Omega beams from his eyes. Omega beams are sentient blasts that track anywhere. They can erase targets from existence. He has overpowered Superman on multiple occasions, treating him like a child. In Final Crisis, his presence warped reality. His death nearly tore the multiverse. Darkseid doesn't just fight heroes, he breaks them. He forces heroes to unite, and victory is never guaranteed. He is the ultimate test of hope against despair. Number 3, because he fuses brute power with profound thematic weight. He is a walking philosophical threat. His strength is the physical form of totalitarianism. Beating him requires belief in freedom, not just muscle. He forces heroes to defend the very idea of being a hero. Takeaway: the most powerful villains are ideologically dominant. They are an evil idea, given a body strong enough to enforce them. Coming in at number 2 is a villain who needs no introduction. He is the big purple guy who made the whole world learn the word inevitable. Thanos, the Mad Titan. What makes him so terrifying is not just his immense physical strength, which is considerable, but the chilling logic behind his actions. He is not a monster of mindless rage or a god of abstract evil. He is a philosopher with a plan, a genocidal conservationist who believes the only way to save the universe is to wipe out half of it. His freakishly jacked physique is the perfect vessel for his unbreakable will. He is strong enough to enforce his terrible vision on a cosmic scale, making him one of the most impactful villains of all time. Thanos' origin is one of tragedy and obsession. He was born on Saturn's moon, Titan, a world of advanced and prosperous people. However, he saw that their unchecked population growth would lead to ruin. He proposed a radical solution, a random, impartial culling of half the population to ensure the survival of the other half. He was branded a madman and exiled. His predictions, however, came true, and Titan destroyed itself. This trauma cemented his belief that his brutal calculus was the only way. This backstory gives his quest a horrifying sense of purpose. He is not driven by greed or a lust for power, but by a twisted sense of duty, a conviction that he alone has the will to do what is necessary. His key feats are etched into modern pop culture. With the Infinity Gauntlet, he snapped his fingers and erased half of all life in the universe. But even without the gauntlet, his physical prowess is staggering. In Avengers: Infinity War, he defeated the Hulk in a one-on-one fight with shocking ease. He dismantled Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor combined in Endgame. He is a master strategist and a seasoned warrior who can overpower even the strongest heroes through sheer combat skill and brute force. His strength is not just a tool, it is a statement. It proves he has the might to back up his convictions, making his arguments all the more terrifying because they are not just words. Thanos earns the number 2 spot because he represents the ultimate fusion of ideology and power. He is the villain who won, even if only for a while. His actions had devastating, universe-altering consequences that forced the heroes to grapple with failure and loss on an unprecedented scale. He broke the Avengers, not just physically, but emotionally. He is the perfect villain for a story about the cost of victory and the nature of sacrifice. The takeaway from Thanos is profound. The most dangerous villain is not the one who wants to destroy everything, but the one who believes they are saving it and has the strength to make it happen. And now, for the number 1 spot. The king of all freakishly jacked villains. This title belongs to a character whose very name is a synonym for overwhelming, uncontrollable power. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan from the Dragon Ball universe. Broly is not a schemer like Thanos. He is not a god of tyranny like Darkseid. He is something far more primal. He is a force of nature, a walking, screaming singularity of destructive energy. His power is not a means to an end, it is the end. When Broly appears, the story stops being about strategy. The story stops being about morality. It becomes a simple, brutal equation of survival against a being of limitless power. Broly's origin is simple and tragic: jealousy, fear. He was born on the same day as Goku. As a baby, his power level was already abnormally high. King Vegeta, the ruler of the Saiyans, feared the child would overthrow him. So he ordered Broly to be executed and left for dead on a doomed planet. Broly survived, his rage and power growing in isolation, fueled by the memory of the crying baby next to him in the nursery, Goku. This creates a deeply personal, albeit irrational, hatred that drives his immense power. He is a monster created by fear, a living weapon whose only purpose is to destroy the thing that tormented him from birth. Broly's key feats are all about breaking the scale of power in his universe. Every time he appears, he forces heroes to push past their known limits. Goku Vegeta. In his legendary Super Saiyan form, his power level grows infinitely the longer he fights. He has cracked planets by flying into them. He has walked through the most powerful energy blasts of his opponents without flinching. He fought a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta to a standstill. Gogeta, one of the strongest fused characters in the series. The shockwaves of their punches were literally shattering reality itself. His physical strength is so immense that it becomes an existential threat to the fabric of the universe. Broly takes the top spot because he is the purest expression of what it means to be freakishly jacked. He is the ultimate physical obstacle. There is no negotiating with him, no outsmarting him, no reasoning with his rage. The only option is to become strong enough to withstand the storm. His presence forces the heroes to break their own limits and achieve new transformations. His presence forces the narrative to focus on the sheer spectacle of combat. He is power for power's sake, a villain who embodies the raw, terrifying thrill of a truly unstoppable force. Final takeaway: Broly is number one because he proves that sometimes the most compelling villain is simply a mountain of muscle and rage, so colossal that it blots out everything else. Okay, so let's put our top two titans in the ring for a final comparison. It's a classic matchup, the calculating mastermind versus the rampaging berserker. Thanos, our runner-up, is the ultimate strategist. His strength is immense, but his greatest weapon is his mind and his unwavering will. He fights with purpose, precision, a deep understanding of his opponents. He would approach a fight with Broly not as a brawl, but as a problem to be solved. He would look for a weakness, an angle to exploit, a way to use Broly's own rage against him. Thanos is a chess master, every move part of a larger, devastating plan. Broly, our champion, is the exact opposite. He is not playing chess. He is flipping the entire board and smashing it to pieces. His strength is not a tool. It is a raw, elemental force. He does not strategize. He does not look for weaknesses. He simply overwhelms. His power is limitless, growing with every passing second. Against Thanos, Broly would not be trying to counter a plan. He would be a hurricane of pure physical force that grows as it rages. He represents power outside the rules of strategy and logic. This face-off highlights two fundamental ways a jacked villain can dominate a story. Thanos represents narrative dominance. His strength serves his complex character and universe-altering plot. He forces heroes to confront difficult moral questions, the consequences of their own ideals. The story revolves around his plan. Broly represents physical dominance. His strength is the story. He turns the narrative into a raw, visceral struggle for survival. Thanos is a threat to your mind and your morals. Broly is a threat to your existence. So, who is more effective? It depends on the story you want to tell. If you want a story about ideas, about the weight of choice, about the nature of good and evil, Thanos is your guy. He provides the thematic heavy lifting. But if you want a story about the absolute, terrifying limits of physical power, about action and spectacle pushed to their breaking point, then Broly is the undisputed king. He is a purer representation of the freakishly jacked archetype. He is what this list is all about, a being whose physical presence is so overwhelming that it becomes the entire point. We have journeyed through a gauntlet of giants, a lineup of titans, whose physical presence is as massive as their impact on storytelling. From the strategic brutality of Bane at number 10 to the pure, world-shattering force of Broly at number 1, we have seen that being freakishly jacked is about so much more than just having big muscles. A villain's strength is a narrative tool. It sets the stakes. It defines the conflict. It forces the heroes to grow, to think, to sacrifice. The bigger the villain's muscles, the bigger the story's central problem, and the more satisfying the hero's eventual triumph becomes. These villains tap into that fundamental part of our storytelling DNA. They represent the mountain that must be climbed. They represent the storm that must be weathered. They represent the beast that must be slain. The villain's strength becomes a crucible, burning away the hero's weaknesses and forging them into something greater. Without the overwhelming physical challenge, the hero's victory would feel hollow and unearned. Ultimately, these villains hold a mirror up to our own struggles. They are living, breathing metaphors for the seemingly insurmountable obstacles in our own lives. Watching a hero rise to meet that challenge, to face down that impossible strength and find a way to win, gives us hope. These stories are not just about superpowered beings punching each other. They are about the human spirit refusing to be crushed. The freakishly jacked villain matters because they make the hero's journey necessary and meaningful. Their strength is the question, and the hero's courage is the answer. And that is why, no matter how many worlds they threaten to break, we will always be here for the breakdown. Because a great villain makes a great hero. And these villains are the greatest of all.